When it comes to self-publishing, many people go with Amazon, but I'm telling you that can be dangerous putting all your eggs in one basket. And that's one of the reasons why in today's video we're going to explore Lulu for your self-publishing needs. This is Chris Baird from selfpublishingmadeeasynow.com, where self-publishing doesn't have to be so hard. In today's video, we are going to be doing a deep dive into Lulu self-publishing review with pros and cons 2023. So the first thing you need to know is, what is Lulu Publishing? Well, it's a self-publishing platform. It's very similar to Amazon, Ingram Spark, and a lot of the other platforms. Now, it's not the big giant in the room like Amazon is, but in this sense, it has some advantages that you're going to find as we go through the video today and take a deep dive into the different pluses and minuses that we find within Lulu. They provide all sorts of tools for creators in order to, as writers, you're able to create, publish, and distribute using a lot of the tools that you're going to find on the Lulu website. So it has a lot of flexibility. I know I personally started with them when I was doing hardcover books before Amazon started doing that, but now Amazon has been doing a lot of things recently, so I would still recommend shooting your hardcover books on Lulu instead. You may even do both, but the one downside, of course, with Lulu is that they do require you to buy a proof copy of a book when you publish it online. The other thing is, Lulu, it's an online bookstore because they're going to have all of these books, and so readers are able to come onto Lulu. And the final thing that Lulu provides is a community for writers. Now, they've changed the name over the years with regards to this Lulu forum that they previously had, where writers would be able to go back and forth discussing different aspects of things that are offered on Lulu. But you can also go there and use it just as a bookstore. So, is Lulu Publishing legit? Well, is it legitimate? Yes, it's completely legitimate. It's been around for over 19 years. You have 1.1 million titles. Actually, it's even more than that now. And it has an awful lot of positive reviews that are coming in. The other thing they have is transparency. They clearly outline exactly the services that they provide and who exactly is able to provide these the different things that they have there. Does that make sense? So they're able to break down the costs associated with the different services that they have. And so you're able to see exactly what your royalties are going to be based upon the pricing you choose, the regions you choose, and the distribution that you choose. So there's a lot of different things to keep in mind. It's also reputable. So it's received a lot of positive recognition over the years from industry experts and media outlets. I know I've listened to them on lots of podcasts, and even their YouTube channel. We're able to interact a bit with the people on there who are showing exactly what they have to offer. And it has partnerships across the board with Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and a number of other houses as it pushes the books, these books out to a lot of different platforms, and has helped a lot of self-published authors get started, just like Amazon helped. For me, it was Amazon that got me started, but I actually did move over to Lulu rather quickly when I realized the value of having a hardcover book for my books. So, how to self-publish on Lulu Press. The first thing you're going to need to do is prepare your manuscript, and they're going to need it. It depends upon what kind of book you're doing. So if you're going to be doing a paperback, well, then obviously you're going to need a PDF for the paperback. And if you're going to be doing some sort of an ebook, they're going to need the EPUB version of your book. And for the paperback, you'll have to choose the size and all sorts of different dimensions. And they also have a huge amount of options available, in my opinion, maybe even wider than almost anybody else on the market in terms of all these weird shapes and sizes. Now, I still recommend going with 6x9 just because it's the most common format to use. So I would definitely stick with that regardless, and then you can use that on all of the different platforms, and it gives you max distribution, and also will get your books into libraries as well. So I would definitely go for that. Then you're going to upload and format your manuscript. So you're going to make sure the manuscript is exactly perfectly formatted. That's one of the reasons why I have a formatting course for authors. You can find it below in the description, where I show you how to use the tool Juto to specifically go in there and get it perfectly formatted. Then you're going to publish and distribute your book through their site. You're going to be able to choose which channels you want, also the pricing, the dimensions, all of the different things. They have discounts also on bulk orders for your books. So how much does it cost to publish with Lulu? Now, Lulu does offer a range of different publishing packages, so all the way from just like beginner level to premium level. So obviously it's going to vary depending upon what you need. But in terms of just the basic costs, they're of course going to be charging for the printing costs of the book, which are unfortunately a little bit higher than some of the other sites, and that's one of the reasons why I started doing hardcover books on Amazon, until I started seeing some of the huge disadvantages on the Amazon front. So that was one of the things. They will give you an ISBN. They will use one of their own ISBNs for your specific book, but for your paperback books, they're then going to require that you take your paperback books and have to order a copy, so that they guarantee that you're checking for quality. Does that make sense? They also have other additional services like adding cover design and marketing services available at additional fees. So their pricing model does allow authors to earn sales and earn the royalties on those things, and you can adjust the prices for the different regions in order to ensure that the royalties that you're earning are reasonable. And I can tell you that I have enjoyed earning thousands of dollars off of Lulu over the last several years since I ever started going through them. They're not my top publishing one. I've earned way more money off of Amazon and Ingram Spark, but I really like them for their hardcover books, me personally, and I know just some people like them because of the paper quality and a lot of the packaging and some of the advanced aspects of their publishing service. So Lulu versus other book publishing with cost of printing. And this is a big one because Lulu offers competitive pricing. Now, as I mentioned, it's still higher, so it's going to have an issue there. But if you do publish through them, you're going to find your book on Amazon as well. Okay, so it's going to be pushed out there as long as you don't turn the off switch on that, which I would not recommend doing. Lulu provides greater control over pricing and royalties. So you have literally the ability to all these levers and dials. You can control almost everything when it comes to Lulu. I also find Ingram Spark also allows this high level of control, but Lulu is really locked in on making sure that you can adjust the price to ensure you're going to maximize your royalties. And they offer a large range of distribution options. Now, my personal thing is, again, choosing that 6x9 size, and then in addition choosing every checkbox you possibly can do. We want to get your book into the hands of as many readers as possible, so this is something you're definitely going to want to do. So, selling your books on Lulu. So you can set up a storefront on Lulu itself. Now, the downside, of course, of this is that they're not so well known. And so if you do that, it makes it a little bit harder to drive the traffic there as opposed to someone like Amazon, where people already have their credit cards attached and are ready to buy. But it's definitely worth considering. You can make the storefront look however you want, kind of like you would do on your own website, but you can do it right through Lulu. Then you can choose your distribution channels and you can promote your books. They have marketing services available to ensure that you're able to get your books in front of the eyes of a lot more people. Because if you think, like many authors do, that you can publish a book and it's just going to make sales, you're sorely mistaken. And this can be a very painful lesson for a lot of authors to learn, that marketing plays a very big role. That's one of the reasons I teach in my content marketing course, which you can find the link to below, exactly how you can, at a very reasonable price, go through the whole process of marketing your book yourself, or you can pay thousands of dollars for somebody else to do it. But I would highly recommend you learn that skill set yourself. So that's just something to keep in mind. So, review of Lulu Publishing. So the positive aspects is they have this wide range of publishing options and services. They have the print on demand, so you don't have to order piles of books and have them in your garage. No. They just print and send them out. But at the same time, they're going to give you that control over the pricing. And if you're going to order in batch, you're going to be able to get it through. Now, on the criticism side, some authors have had problems with Lulu's customer service. I've also experienced some challenges there. And when they did the upgrade to Lulu 2.0, there was an awful lot of complaints that came against them. But overall, I would just say that it's a legitimate and reputable self-publishing platform that's definitely worth considering. So, pros of Lulu Publishing. The big one is that flexibility and control that we've been talking about throughout this entire video. As you're going on to Lulu, you're going to find that you have really the ability to control most aspects of the self-publishing process. And the other thing is the affordability. It doesn't really cost you anything, but you do need to order a proof copy of your paperback versions that you're choosing to put onto Lulu. And they do have distribution and marketing support, so they're able to answer your questions even if they don't completely answer very quickly. They take their time on that. It's difficult to get them on the phone. And that sort of ties in a little bit with the cons of Lulu publishing. So you have limited distribution options, so you sort of have to stick with what they have. And that's one of the reasons why I recommend also going with Ingram Spark and Amazon in addition. Don't just stick with Lulu. It's always a good idea to go with all of the different platforms as you're putting your books on the market to maximize the distribution you have. Formatting issues can also be a little bit of a challenge. I have seen some people have had some formatting challenges that they've had. And the other thing is the customer service, and that's probably the one that gets the most complaints of the people I've run across when it comes to Lulu. But there's also this issue of the pricing side in terms of the royalties. The books are higher priced. The royalty rates can be a little bit lower than some of their other competitors. That's also something you should definitely look out for when it comes to Lulu, and having to pay to get a proof copy of your book has always been a little bit of a downside. So, is Lulu publishing worth it? Honest review. So the factors to consider, well, we're looking at the quality of the final book. We're looking at the author's goals in terms of what exactly you're trying to accomplish. We like maybe the flexibility of these hardback and all of these different types of hardback books and the bindings and all of these sleeves you can have on your books. They have tons and tons of options in all sorts of different sizes, much bigger than anything I've seen on any of the other websites I've ever used. So it gives you a lot of flexibility on this. You have it's affordable option that doesn't really cost that much to publish there and gives you control over your publishing and maintaining publishing rights. You can build that storefront as we were talking about, and the distribution options hit a number of areas, but you can probably maximize it if you top it off by just simply going to Ingram Spark and doing it. And so some authors have experienced some formatting issues and some of the difficulties with regards to getting, especially using the templates on the covers and things like that. But for the most part, I would say that it is definitely worth going with Lulu. So in conclusion, you can see there are a lot of factors to keep in mind when you're making this difficult decision upon whether to go with Lulu or to go with one of its competitors. And in the end, it's up to you to sort of look and see those different options and which ones meet your needs. Because I would definitely say Lulu is something you should definitely consider for, at a minimum, your hardcover books, the ones that are making lots of sales on these other platforms. Give Lulu a chance when it comes to that and see if they can't deliver. But my question for you today is, have you published with Lulu? And if you have, how was your publishing? Because I need to know exactly the experiences you've had, because that is in some ways equally, if not more important than ones I've had, because you help me figure out, are there things that I'm missing in this review of Lulu that would really help me out? So please let me know, and check up above me here for more video answers to your self-publishing questions. Thanks.